Welcome everybody to the second game of this BBL Season 7 for our Super Duper Melonheads. Last game was a particularly devastating loss. We ended up losing 1-1 to NateInDisney's Braves after I gave up, as you can see here, 5 runs to the AI. So hoping for a little bounce back here, we are playing against the Angels, coached by NateInDisney, the other Nate, a team with a particularly intimidating defense to me. Nate had a small-scale game, only 4 runs in his first outing, so that's a good sign, but I think I'm going to have difficulty putting up too good of a score on my own. As far as how this game was predicted, though, looking at the predictions made on the our predictor challenge on the Discord, it's actually very evenly split. We had 8 people predict the Melonheads to win, and 7 people predict the Angels to win, so practically a 50-50 split among 15 people. Also, a lot of people locked on this one. They were very confident in their predictions. We had 3 people lock me to win, and 3 people lock the Angels to win. So this certainly is going to be a big one for the predictor challenge in any case, but as far as the overall league wisdom goes, this one is completely up in the air. Yes, Natastic, I do have the recording of the last game. I'll get that posted after I finish streaming this game. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in and see what sort of days we have to contend with today. Angela, an interesting day here. Down 2 balls on pitching, down to just 8, but up to a 10 in hitting and a 5 in running. So I will take that exchange. She'll probably be decent on the mound. I have backup pitchers if not, and she should be better at the plate. Looks like everyone else is normal. That's what I like to see. So we'll keep more or less the same lineup as we had before and just hope that most of our hitters do a better job. One of our big problems in our first game was that 5 of my hitters combined to go 2 for 15. So hopefully they'll do better, and with Tony at regular strength now, not a bad day, that should help. As for the Braves I'm facing against, Diana Hayes with an interesting set of days there, but that big fielding boost is not what I want to see. It's going to make her more of a threat in right field, probably gunning the ball in, and with Maria and Sydney also in the outfield, that's going to give me trouble. Kimmy with, I think, less of a boost than normal for a good day, but still. 7 running, we know she has a strong arm already, and the fielding boost is going to make it even better, so she's going to be a pain. Dominique Lowe might be the weak spot on the team, honestly, with one of the weakest arms. And Mr. Clanky, oof, and Mr. Clanky up to 10 speed. Alright, so this is going to be a tough game as well, just because we have the regular Kimmy boost, we have Hayes with the big fielding boost, and Clanky with a fielding boost and up to 10 speed, so it's looking like it's going to be really difficult to accomplish anything. This is already a solid defense and boosted to be even stronger. So we will see how this goes. So let's begin. Stuart Sullivan leading off, and he's going to have a get on base hitter, but in with a super fast Mr. Clanky on the mound and Joe Mar at third. Might have some trouble getting to the base sometime. But we'll try for it. A nice grounder down the third base line, and not a good start as I completely whiff on a perfect pitch. It was right down the middle. Timing must be off. And of course, one of the lousiest things about facing Clanky as pitcher is that he's never going to get tired. I can push him off the mound if I score enough runs, but no matter how many extra pitches he throws, I'm not going to tire him out. However, even though he has perfect stamina, he's having a hard time hitting the strike zone. 3-1 the count. A walk would be very nice to start this game off. I'm going for the swing instead. Unfortunately, it's straight to Clanky. Fortunately, they played a bit back for whatever reason. Weinman couldn't get to first base in time. So Stewart with a single to start us off right. Alexis Weiss up. Hit 2 home runs, batted 4 in our first game. Our player of the game, we'll see if she can do similarly this time. Meanwhile, Ashley behind the plate might be trouble for stealing, but I've got to at least try. With someone as fast as Stewart, and she ends up throwing to third instead, so easy steal of second by Stewart, much better situation. Alexis drives one down the third baseline, but it's a bit foul. Otherwise, that would have been a nice one into the left field pocket. At least would have been a single for Alexis. Though with Maria going to get it, it wouldn't have made it much farther than that. Alexis with a nice pop-up towards the left, but Not far enough, and Maria is there and catches it for the first out. So that brings up Lou and Louie. Other get-on-base hitter, and I'm going to go a bit risky here because I think a ground ball is unlikely to work too well, so we're going to do a line drive with Lulu, hope to get one in a gap so that Stewart also can move past second base. And set things up nicely for Angela to drive some runs in. Ooh, a perfect little grounder for Lulu. Clanky charging up to get it, and ooh, just barely gets Stewart at third. Ugh. Had to rush both Lulu and Stewart to make sure they made it in time, but Clanky with those boosts. Able to be an effective kryptonite for me. Almost safe, but not quite. So now 2 outs, only 1 on. Angela Del Vecchio, the hitter, with a hitting boost. And completely smacks one to right field. That one's gone easily. That makes that tag of Stewart even more painful of a play. That's the way it goes sometimes. Still, 2-run home run by Angela, so we're on the board early. That's always good. The question now is, with our not-so-strong offensive players coming to the plate, how well will we fare against this defense? Vicky Kawaguchi now up, and against this stacked infield, especially with a speed boosted Clinky, it seems unlikely that she'll be able to get on base, but she'll do her best. Swing and a miss. I think I messed up the timing on that one. Clinky has thrown over 13 pitches now this inning, but that doesn't really, again, matter much. Clinky has infinite stamina, so zinging the ball to first even with no pressure, so maybe I'll get some overthrows sometime. That'll make their fielders drop the ball. So, 2 runs in the first. Good start. We'll see if we can keep the Angels down and not give up a ton of runs this time. So Gail Weinman up. As a reminder, Angela Del Vecchio is down to 8 pitching instead of the regular 10 this game. We will see if that affects her performance in any meaningful way. It might just mean like she's worse at throwing the heat that she's already bad at or something like that. Never can quite tell with the pitching rating changes. Weidman loops one up towards second. Easy play for Tanya for the first out. Bringing up Ashley Butter. The good news is this is not really a team of sluggers. They have a bunch of solid hitters, but solid hitters aren't probably going to be as much of a problem as people who are just going to hit the ball out. Ashley with a pop-up towards the mound, and Angela falls on top of it to get it down, successfully makes a play for the second out. And now Mr. Clanky, who, again, at 10 hitting, 10 running, he's like Henri, except with infinite stamina. And that is terrifying. Tries to bunt it. I think that's the first time I've ever seen Mr. Clinky do a bunt. But it does go foul. Takes ball 1 that's just inside on a questionable call by the ump. Takes strike 2. Angela had, I believe, 11 strikeouts in the first game for a nice total. But none in the first here, probably. Although, well, never mind. Grounder by Clanky, no one's able to get to it instantly, so an easy single for him. And that brings up Maria Luna, who's one of the biggest power hitters on this team, probably, along with Clanky, and fast, so if she gets a good hit, we're in trouble. Clanky going for second, we are not going to bother to try to do anything about that. It would just be a waste of effort. If he goes for third, we will be trying to make that play. Angela is starting to run out of stamina here, which is never a good sign. Maria with a smart move, bunting it straight to Angela, but bunt goes far enough that even Angela is able to make that play for the third out. It's a dangerous situation with Super Clanky there, but we're able to get out of it unscathed. Only 1 hit given up. After 1 inning, Melonheads up 2-0. Stephanie Morgan up. Despite being, in theory, probably the worst hitter on the team, she's done well in preseason, and she went 2 for 3 in our first game, one of our more successful hitters. She's just good at finding those ways to get on base. Stephanie, a player without the most natural talent, but has enough for decent base and then gives 100% effort, which I think makes her a much better player than she would be otherwise. At least that's the way I like to think of it. Pops one into foul territory, nobody close to catching that. To use an analogy that may not quite be appropriate, Stephanie doesn't have all the hard skills necessary for the job, maybe, but her soft skills are A+. And help her a lot there. Pop-up should be an easy out, although Ashley and Clanky bonk into each other. Clanky's still able to gun it up to first, though, for the out. Stephanie, if I'd hustled Steph a bit more, might have been able to make it, but oh well. Brings up Fernando Diaz, who was not able to get anything done at the plate in the first game. Struck out once, I believe, and popped out a couple of times as well. Fouls off the first one. Swung late on that one, I think, for a foul. We'll see. Fernando definitely has the potential to get a decent gap hit that turns into on base, but instead just grounds it straight to first base. No shot at getting to base there. So, 2 easy outs. We'll see if Tony Del Vecchio can accomplish it. Went 0 for 0 today, but that was partly on the back of a bad day that had him at just 3 running. Still, not sure how useful a plain old single would be, so we're going for hitting it out of the park, and makes a good effort, but that's not going to be far enough. Maria is there. Maria has got it. So very quick and uneventful second inning for the Melonheads. Again, this is a tough defense to get anything done against, especially with all the boosts in play. See if we can hold him down to the bottom of the inning in the meantime. Sydney Weber, the first player, up to bat. Pops one into right center. Lulu's going to get it instead of Stewart. Lulu's not the best at catching, but she's under it this time and gets it. Lulu can be a liability in the outfield, at least under player control, just because she's so small it can be hard for her to actually get to the ball. That's why I have her in right field, which is where I feel like usually sees the least action. Diana Hayes up, hits the grounder, and Angela guns one up to first. Maybe her throwing is boosted today. I don't know. In any case, though, with her and Fernando tripping over each other, even that is not in time. So Hayes makes it to first. Runner on first, 1 out for Johnny Omar, the legend himself. Let's see what he can accomplish here. Oof, Jomar blasts one up into left. Fortunately, not that blasted. Unfortunately, fielding control strike yet again. Vicky unable to get under it properly. We are able to get it in time, though. Hayes with nowhere to go except into the ball that Alexis is holding. So, double for Jomar, but it did come at the cost of their runner on second. So runner on second now with 2 outs for Kimmy Ekman. Meanwhile, Angela's still with 0 strikeouts and could really use a more juice here. Kimmy swings and misses on the first one. Fouls one off. Alright, let's see if we can get the strikeout here. That's going to be outside. Yep. Ball 1. Angela not able to pitch anything except a slow ball accurately at this point, so definitely playing with fire. Kimmy lines one up, and Angela catches it! That's the sort of ball you'd expect her normally to drop, but able to get it that time to end the inning. So 2 hits, but no runs, still 2-0 after 2 innings. It brings up Tanya Uchida as our leadoff hitter. Got a single in the last game. Unfortunately, that was a setup for a double play. Swings at the first pitch she sees, which is usually probably not actually a good thing. Hits a nice one up into right center, but it is caught by Sydney for the first out. Bringing up Stewart, who was able to beat the odds and make it to first in his first at bat. Let's see if he can do it again. Clanky throws 2 unideal pitches to start with, so 0-2 for Stu. Outside for ball 1. Nasty corner pitch, but Stu is able to get the bat on it. Ashley's there, she's gunning it up, but cannot beat Stewart and his super speed, so nice single for Stewart to help things off. Alexis now up. As I believe it was a flyout in the first. Gonna go for power here and see if we can just hit one over the fence. That's a surest way here to score. Stewart is able to steal second. Ashley a good catcher, but not quite good enough to throw him out, especially with that slide. So that's good. If that hadn't worked, that would have been very bad. For those late to the stream, yes, Mr. Clanky is boosted to have 10 hitting and 10 running and 8 fielding this game. He is a true monster. 1-2 the count against Alexis. Messed up the timing on that swing. It's going to be a linky pop-up. Ashley's able to catch it for the second out. Not great. Let's see if Lulu can get on base soon and set things up for boosted Angela. Lulu did get on base on her first at-bat here. Pops one over to left. Jomar there. Jomar's got it. Ruined my hopes and dreams. So, good setup there, but not able to get anybody on base except for Stewart. Finished just before Angela would have come up, so still no score. In the third, 2-0, still the overall score. Dominique Lowe up for the Angels, a kid who I do not know a lot about, but is one of the least intimidating players on their team, I would say. Takes the first 2 pitches. A strikeout for some more juice here would be very nice. Swing and a miss for strike 3, Angela's first strikeout of the game here in the third. And that brings out Gail Weinman, who I believe is functionally a clone of Dominique. Unfortunately, that strikeout did not yield me more juice, just an elevator pitch that I will not be using. Angela with a wild slow ball for ball 1. Gail grounds one in there. It's within Angela's range for an easy out. That brings up Ashley Weber. And we're keeping Angela on the mound for now, hoping she gets either enough natural stamina regeneration or else a good strikeout for more juice so she can keep on the mound. Because Angela's not really a player you want anywhere besides on the mound. Swing and a miss for strike 2. 0-2 the count on Weber with 2 outs. Nobody on. And swing and a miss for strike 3, Ashley doing the Weber thing where if they swing and a miss on strike 3, they don't even let the music play. They just go straight from the swing to walking off the screen. I don't know if that's a glitch or not. It's a sort of neat thing, though, that just they have going on. Angela Del Vecchio out now. 1-for-1 today with a home run. She is boosted to 10 hitting. Smacks another one to left field, but that one's not going out, and in fact, Maria's right there for the first out. With now 2 of my 2 weakest hitters possibly coming up to bat, probably not going to be accomplishing anything here in the fourth. Vicky's trying, though. Hits one towards second base. Kimmy is there. Falls on top of it. Vicky almost beats it out. If only she could have gone a bit faster, she would have made it. But as it is, second out. Let's see if Stephanie Morgan can get on base. Gonna have to get a very nice gap hit here to make it through. And she accomplished that? I'm not sure. Well, lanky pop-up. Weinman's going for it. Can't make it, so single for Stephanie Morgan. Gets it. Well, guns one to second. I expected that to be... Oh, and Kimmy with the tag, so the hesitation. I expected Diana Hayes to gun it to second. She didn't. Stephanie tripped. That slowed her down just enough to not make it. So what would have been a double by Stephanie Morgan turns into the third out on some poor play by me. Sends us to the bottom of the fourth. Still 2-0. And the boosted to insane levels, Mr. Clanky is a first hitter for the Angels. Angela with 2 strikeouts now, still no more juice to be seen. And just barely makes it, Tony gunning it to first for the first out. That is good. Mr. Clanky on base with nobody out and Maria up to bat would have been a very bad situation. We are able to avoid that, though. Maria blasting one to right center. Stewart going for it. He's in position. He's not able to make the play, though. Maria going for second. Stewart running it in. Stewart with the toss. Tanya tags her just in time, so another player just barely caught out at second base. So 2 harrowing plays there, but both end well for me. So nobody on, 2 outs for Sydney Weber. Oh, and 2 the count. Let's see if we can get the strikeout here. Nope, Sydney grounds one to third. Alexis has it. Not able to make the throw. Neither is Angela. Sydney tries to take advantage by going for second, but she had nowhere near that much leeway. It's caught in the rundown and ultimately tagged out. So Sydney turning an easy single into the 3rd out. So at least the game's paying me back for me getting Stephanie into an out like that. 4 innings are over. The Melonheads up 2-0, but only have 4 hits on the game. Let's see if we can make a rally happen here in the 5th. Fernando Diaz, a first hitter, 0 for 4 on the season so far. Let's see if he can really get things going here. Fouls on off. I might should have taken that one. Could have been a ball. Oh well. And of course, once again, Clanky on the mound is always annoying because he never gets tired. He will be here the entire game until and unless I can actually put 5 runs on the board, and Fernando watched a strike 3 go by. Ball that I thought at first was low. Realized my mistake too late. And that brings up Tony Del Vecchio. Also has not gotten on base once so far this season. Had a fly out at his first at bat. Clanky with 2 nasty pitches to make the count 0-2. Let's see if he gives me something better for strike 3. First just tosses one outside. 1-2 the count. And Tony, it's an absolute blast of one to left field off of an outside pitch. That is gone. The Del Vecchios carrying the team today have batted in all 3 runs so far. Solo shot for Tony Del Vecchio, and the Melonheads are now up 3-0. Alright, much needed boost there. Let's see what Tanya Uchida can do now. Had a fly out in her first at bat. Swinging at the first pitch again. Again, probably not the smartest move. I couldn't help myself. Dominique gets it. Nowhere close to throwing her out at first. So that puts Tanya on first base. Unfortunately, the hitter now is Stuart Sullivan, who is not exactly a great hitter to advance base runners. Hopefully, if nothing else, Tanya being on base, though, will help him to get to first easily. And set things up for Alexis. Who knows? Might get a ball in just the right spot. Angels might mess up the play. 1-1 the count, as that first strike came to a place where I didn't really want Stewart hitting the ball. And nasty corner pitch for strike 2. Stewart striking out would not be an ideal outcome here. Fouls it off to keep the at-bat alive. And pops one towards Clanky. Clanky, for whatever reason, runs back for it. Still able to make the play at second, though. So runner on first, 2 outs for Alexis Weiss. After being our player of the game in opening week, she's 0 for 2 so far today. Let's see if she can change that and bat in a run or 2. Low for ball 1. Stewart using his super speed to get to second base, despite a good throw from Ashley. And 1-1 the count now on Alexis. Trying to hit it out, but honestly a good outfield hit probably would score Stewart as well, so that would be almost as good. Fouls it off 1-2. No more power swing here. Gotta swing more conservatively here. And didn't want to swing at that one because it was a nasty pitch, but should have because that was strike 3. Stranded a runner on second, didn't get anything accomplished there. Still, solo home run by Tony does put the Melonheads up further, boost morale, and now it is the 3-0 game. Let's see if we can continue to hold on to this lead. Angela has not been great on stamina most of this game, but has so far held on despite that, and Diana Hayes lines out to third uneventfully for the first out. So, Angela only struck out 2 in 4 innings, but has not given up any runs so far. Johnny Omar, the hitter now, he hit a double in his first at-bat. Double with an asterisk because he would have been out had there not been a runner on base who he got out instead. And swing and a miss for strike 3. Jomar strikes out for Angela's third strikeout of the game. That brings up Kimmy Ekman, who has the Ekman boost, but I think a smaller one than normal, only at 7 hitting today. Game continuing to not give me more juice, and instead gives me a corkscrew pitch. Which is unfortunate because for whatever reason, Angela has not been able to recover her full stamina at all. Kimmy fouls one off. 0-2 the count. Gonna try to end this uneventfully. Not that uneventfully. Ball 1, as the pitch is slightly low. And Kimmy blasts one into left. Thankfully, it is not a home run. Mickey's able to grab it. Kimmy holding at first base, so phew. What looked at first like it might be a really bad situation is just a single. And that brings up Dominique Lowe. Gonna do a fielding swap here, putting Tony behind the plate just in case Kimmy makes a break for second. Give us the best chance of throwing her out. And she does go for second. Tony barrels it up there. Tag is made for the third out. Fielding swap comes in handy. We're able to tag Kimmy out, so Angels once again scoreless. Going into the 6th inning, it's 3-0. Gonna try to make that an even better score. Luann Louis first up, 1 for 2 today. Has been doing line drive swing to try to advance Stewart as well as just avoiding this nasty infield defense here with Clinky playing everywhere essentially with his 10 speed. We're gonna go for grounder swing here though and see what happens. Low for ball 1. And it looks like low for ball 2. A 4-pitch or any sort of walk would be a perfect outcome for Lulu, honestly. Swing and a miss for strike 1, but no harm done. Didn't really need to swing at that one, but actually swinging didn't turn anything. Inside for ball 3, so 3-1 the count. Hoping to draw the walk here. How Clinky can throw pitches this inaccurately when he has infinite stamina, I don't know, but he walks Lulu on 5 pitches. That puts a runner on base with nobody up. Angela Del Vecchio up. Angela is boosted today to 10 hitting. Razek gets stamina again. Angela with the 10 hitting. Hopefully can knock one out here, drive in 2 more runs, and put us up by 5. That would be very nice indeed. I'm not going to swing at the first pitch. Lulu barely safe on the steal of second. That was a bit too close for comfort, but we did make it. Angela hits one towards center. Nobody's immediately there. Kimmy almost with a nice play, but fumbles it. Dominique now has a ball. He's throwing it home. Lulu barely scores. Close play. Clanky almost makes a relay, but Lulu does score, so RBI single for Angela. This is now a 4-0 game. Angela is responsible for currently half of the runs batted in this season. Vicky Kawaguchi now 0 for 2, has not gotten on base once this season so far, but is hoping to take advantage of having Angela on first base as an easy out to get on base. Might not even need that though, because Clinky throwing wildly, even though he has infinite stamina, he shouldn't be tired out of being so wild, but walks Vicky Kawaguchi on 4 pitches. I will take it. Runners on first and second, convenient sacrifice runner on second, Stephanie Morgan. is now the hitter. 0 for 2 today, gonna try to hit one into a decent spot where they can only get Angela out at third and still leave Stephanie and Vicky on base. Who knows, maybe she can even get a nice gap hit, get everybody safe. Could go for grounder, but that feels too... Anything here is going to be a big double play risk. That's a problem here. If it goes to the right place, they can easily get 2 outs. But I think grounder and line drive are equal risk for that. Could pop into a double play, could ground it straight to Clanky into a double play. Steph takes the first 2 pitches as they're not ideal, but the third one has to go for anyway. They do go for the easy play at third, but Steph and Vicky are both safe. 1 out, runners on first and second, Fernando Diaz up. Let's see if he can get a nice clutch hit in here and get on base for the first time this season. Nice outside pitch, but Fernando fouls it off. Solid hit by Fernando here, and we can all advance. Nice thing about this team is it has good speed, so 7 is the slowest of any runner on base currently. 0-2 though on a couple of nasty pitches by Clanky. That one's going to be inside for the first ball. Tony Del Vecchio waiting in the wings. Had a solo home run earlier. Fernando fouls off a slow-mo to keep the at-bat alive. And lines went up the first base line. Weinman right there and able to make the double play. Ouch, terrible luck there. They just happened to have their players perfectly in position to get the double play there for second and third out. So a promising rally cut short. Yeah, not much else to say about that. I don't know how I could have avoided that. I guess maybe intentionally striking out with Fernando, but that play goes slightly differently, and that's a single, and we have the bases loaded with 1 out for Tony Del Vecchio. So, alright, Angela not pitching very accurately here. I think it's more important now than it was before to try to avoid getting any runners on, so we are doing a pitching change here. Stephanie Morgan going to try to close things off here for the Melonheads. Putting on a fresh pitcher instead of risking getting someone on base for the power. Stephanie, not the greatest pitcher, but a solid one. She doesn't do so well and ends up having to be swapped up. We'll bring on Lulu, probably. Maybe Alexis. But despite only having 5 in pitching, Steph is decent, has a good right hook and heat. So I like using her as a short-term reliever. This is a short-term relief situation. Gail Weinman now up, so not, again, one of the less intimidating hitters on this team. Hopefully this will be a fairly routine out. Straight to Steph. Able to field it easily for the second out. Ashley Weber, the last out for the Angels. Let's see if we can take this away with a 4-0. Grounded up the side, Steph's there, she's got it. Throws it to first, plays in time, out. So, final score to say, Melonheads 4, Angels 0. Nice recovery from our first game, because this time we did not give up any runs. I don't know yet if this is going to be a win. Actually, I'm going to submit my score right now to the bot to find out, so give me one moment. Result. We are going to find out if this is a win or a loss against Nate and his Angels. Yes, this is correct. And final score, oh my goodness, the Angels scored a plus 30 against me. So this is, in fact, a blowout loss. So that was never a game I was going to win anyway, but still, compared to our first outing, it was a nice recovery, able to still score some runs despite the nasty defense, and more importantly, we didn't give any up. So, on the whole, went pretty well as far as this could go. Again, Angels' nasty defense, I was never going to be able to do too much against them anyway. But, yep, solid game. Player of the game today has got to be Angela Del Vecchio with a nice recovery. On pitching from the first game, she batted in 3 runs, going 2 for 3 with a home run and a single. On pitching, pitched 5 scoreless innings, only giving up 4 hits. So very nice recovery for her from our first game. As you can see, was able to spread it out a bit better. Still had 3 players go hitless though, including both Vicky and Fernando, who both have yet to record a hit this season. Only 9 hits on the game. Again, though, this was a tough defense. And I think on the whole, this is a promising situation for the future season. Later on, I might well be able to recover and actually start scoring some runs. Next week, we'll be playing against the Diamondbacks, the other defense first team of the season, at our home field of Casa de Pablo for the first game. So I will see you then. Until then, thanks for watching and see you all later.